From the O.co in Oakland, California, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. The four-game series is even at a game apiece as the Astros send 13-game winner Collin McHugh to the hill against A's righty Jesse Chavez. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. The Astros took one on the chin last night, a well-pitched ball game. Dallas Keuchel went against Sonny Gray in 2 hours and 20 minutes of pretty solid pitching.
I was going to say, you'd enjoy that number 220, but these guys, you knew it was going to be a good matchup, a pitching matchup. Dallas Keuchel did some good work, had some rough innings early on, but Sonny Gray, I mean, the Astros offense just ran into a buzzsaw with what he was doing last night.
And today it's Collin McHugh going to the mound for the Astros. Collin has won his last 4 starts, and against the Oakland A's, he's pitched well.
Yeah, he does a good job, likes pitching against these Oakland A's, but you see in the last 4 starts, 4-0, pretty good record, adding to that total of 13 that you already talked about. He's got that good fastball cutter combo, and that's probably what you got to watch out for with Collin McHugh. If he's got a good late life on that fastball, able to pitch up in the zone, that's going to make his off-speed pitches a little more effective. But for me, it's that cutter that really allows him to put guys away.
So for Collin McHugh on a good run, Jesse Chavez has been scuffling a bit for the Oakland A's, but has pitched well against the Astros.
Yeah, he's got good numbers against the Astros. A lot of those outings coming out of that bullpen here starting in the last couple of years, but really has done a good job with that fastball cutter. But here late, getting ripped a little bit. Last outing gave up 6 runs. In the month of July, went 1-3 with a 5.33 ERA. So hopefully a good guy for the Astros to face and turn things around on the road again.
Coming up, the reigning Major League batting champ is a bona fide Oakland A's killer. But he's had some ups and downs after a historic 2014. What's on his mind as we hit the season's home stretch? Julia goes inside Altuve's head when we come back.
For game 3 of this 4-game set, we are getting our sunflower seed shower out of the way early thanks to George Springer. I think Marwin Gonzalez is behind me as well. Let's get this out of the way because the Astros win when this happens. This is why this is happening. We want to welcome you back. We're about to get started. Jose Altuve, you'll see him in just a few minutes as he gets ready to hit early. He was one of the few that got hits off Sonny Gray yesterday, going 1 for 4, continuing his hit streak here at OAK. 18 games now. He's our Jack-in-the-Box, taking us inside the score as we look at Jose Altuve. And thank you guys. Thank you so much for my sunflower seeds. Jose Altuve, though, is the guy we're talking about, and has really struggled against breaking balls this season compared to last season. And I got a chance to catch up with hitting coach Dave Hudgens about what Altuve has done recently. He had a 3-hit game 2 nights ago, and he's starting to settle in a little bit, feeling better than how he felt before. He said that was because he's being more reactionary with pitches instead of looking for a certain pitch. He tends to chase the breaking ball, and you see the average going way down. He hit so well against that breaking ball last year, guys. It's just something he's going to have to adjust to and work his way back up to. I send it up to you as I clean sunflower seeds out of my hair now.
Well, thanks, Julia, and good luck with that assignment. And I know you'll have many more over the course of the day. Jose Altuve, Blummer, to me, is one of those guys that great reactionary player and hitter. And sometimes you can outthink yourself in this game.
Yeah, if you go up there guessing, we've talked about it plenty of times, where if you go up there guessing slider, you get a slider, you have a tendency to swing at it no matter where it is, and that might be what he's doing. But he is too good of a hitter to just rely on looking for pitches. He can go up there. He has quick enough hands, and when he's going well, the foot is down early, the hands are back, and he's ready to fire on whatever's up there right now. Might be a good time for him to face Oakland Athletics pitching, because he dominates them here at the Oakland Coliseum.
So it's a game apiece. Game 3 here this afternoon in Oakland. And that lineup for the Houston Astros of A.J. Hinch. Jose Altuve in the top spot, followed by center fielder Carlos Gomez. Carlos Correa is at shortstop. The middle 3, Colby Rasmussen right, the DH Evan Gattis. Preston Tucker is in left field, in the bottom 3 at third base. Luis Valbuena hit his 21st last night. Chris Carter gets a start this afternoon at first. Behind the dish, Hank Conger.
Take a look at Jesse Chavez and that beautiful uniform he's sporting out there today with the 2-in-1 socks. A little extreme, might be trying to distract you from some of the numbers he's put up. Had a rough July, 5 starts, went 1-3 with a 5.33 ERA. Last outing only lasted 3 2/3, giving up 6 earned runs to the Baltimore Orioles.
Jesse Chavez has pitched in 20 games, 4 as a starter against the Astros, going 2-1. And as we said, he's pitched well. The Astros have hit just .242 against him in those 20 games.
First pitch, 107.
So you get a day game in Oakland. It's kind of like Dodger Stadium. You have the chance to have the ball carry a little bit. Nighttime can be really rough here. 2-0 on Altuve. 68 degrees. Been quite pleasant here this morning. Hot shot into left field. Altuve starts. Rocket into left field. Solid base hit. And nobody out for Carlos Gomez.
I'm glad that Julio's been working with him in the cage, get him locked in. He's dialed 19-game hitting streak here at the OAK. That's a good quick swing, and that's what we talked about. That leg kick, get the foot down.
One of those key elements. He tends to swing it very well when the guys have put seeds in the hair of Julio Morales. So let's keep that going. Carlos Gomez at the plate.
The amount of seagulls here, I'd be a little worried if I was Julio.
Not sure if you got seeds or something else.
Man, they can be aggressive here.
Yeah. Carlos Gomez hitting .257 with the Astros, 9 hits. One of those a home run, 4 RBIs. Keep in mind, Jose Altuve leading the league in stolen bases. And the Astros continue to lead in that category as a team, 83 bags. Gomez, a guy much of the time that seems to be willing to try to drive the ball back up the middle, maybe to right center.
I think it's a good adjustment. Last night had a couple of pop-ups, front shoulder pulling off a little bit, creating that uppercut. But yeah, with Altuve on first, wide open hole on that right side.
Jesse Chavez and the A's obviously aware of Jose Altuve. Carlos Gomez now 9 seasons in the major leagues. Got an even 100 home runs. and hit that number 100, the first with the Astros on this road trip. Came in Arlington. Two-time All-Star. He's been a Gold Glove winner. Hits it in the air to right center field and hits it pretty well. Back is Reddick, just shy of the warning track. Altuve tags and then eventually has to go back as Reddick possesses one of the game's good arms from right.
Good idea, though. He's got a chance to see Josh Reddick out there in right field. Let's see who's out there with him. Billy Burns in center, Coco Crispin left. Around the infield, you're going to see Brett Laurie at third base, Marcus Semien at shortstop, Eric Sogard at second base, Ike Davis at first, and Stephen Vogt behind home plate working with Jesse Chavez.
And of course, that brings up Carlos Correa, the 3-hitter, and a fixture now for the Astros at short and in the 3-hole. And taking advantage to the extent that he already has 14 home runs, 36 ribbies, hitting a very solid .290. Had a huge home run in game 1 here that the Astros eventually won. He was 1 for 4 in last night's game. He's hit 6 home runs in his last 11 games. In the 20 games since the All-Star break for Carlos Correa, 6 homers. Make that 7 home runs in that span, and hitting .315 with 4 doubles, 17 ribbies.
Trying to tell me he's good.
And on top of that, he's the youngest position player in the major leagues and leads All-American League shortstops in home runs.
What are you trying to tell me?
I'm going to agree with you. I think your wording was pretty solid. He's pretty good.
He's got a bright future.
And now a 2-2 count. Altuve down at first base, maybe trying to figure out Chavez, maybe enabling Carlos Correa to get a couple of swings against Chavez. That major league debut for Carlos Correa was June 8th. And since then, he is second in the American League in extra base hits, trailing only Josh Donaldson, who is, like last year, getting some talk about being the MVP this year. In that span, leads the Astros in hits, doubles, home runs. Close, but Correa stays alive, a 3-2 count.
Man, steady diet of cutters on that outside corner, trying to get Carlos Correa to fish. Carlos Correa showing a good eye up there too. Good strike zone knowledge.
And though Jeff Blum attempted to be on that list and was for some period of time, Correa is the only shortstop in the last century to hit 14 home runs in his first 52 major league games. It's ball 4. Altuve was on the move, but a moot point as the Astros have runners at first and second. 1 out for Colby Rasmus.
Batting in the 4th position.
Chance to look at the strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. Ooh, borderline call. Correa gets it. But again, everything on that outside corner, trying to sneak one past him. That 3-2 count.
So Colby Rasmus steps in, hitting in the 4 spot today for the Astros. Preston Tucker has manned that 4 spot a number of times. He's hitting 6th today. And that ground ball goes foul.
Lefties are hitting pretty good off of Jesse Chavez. 285 coming into this game. 8 of the 11 home runs Chavez has given up have been to left-handed hitters. Day game here at HOU.co. Tell you what, right now, how big would a 3-run jack be in the first inning? Put some runs on the board for Colin McHugh. Start the party early.
No guarantee that these two guys, Altuve and Correa, don't take off running. 0-2 the count now to Colby. 0 for 3 in last night's game. Colby with 13 home runs. 11 of those have come against right-hand pitching. Spin move towards second. The Astros start the day at 61-50. First place in the American League West, but that lead is dwindling now. Just a game and a half up on the Angels. Texas Rangers 5.5 back. And the Rangers have the best record in the division over the last 10 games. They're 7-3. Pretty good swing by Rasmus.
Yeah, hanging changeup.
Versatile guy in the outfield for the Astros this year. He's made 31 starts in left, 23 in center, 23 in right. Just getting underway. Ground ball on the right side with the shift. Sogard has the play. We'll get the out at first base as the runners move up 90 feet. With 2 outs, it's in the hands of Evan Gattis. Evan with those team leading 60 RBIs. The Astros with 8 hitters that have at least 10 home runs, led by Luis Valbuena. He has 21, and that 21st came in last night's game, a no doubt shot to right. And that was the only run the Astros would get against Sonny Gray. The Oakland A's last place in the division, 49-62, 12 back of Houston. Ground ball to short, 2 big hops. Semien with the play, and a poor throw, but they end up getting him as Ike Davis applies the tag, and that'll do it. The Astros get a hit and a walk and leave a pair. Through a half an inning, it's scoreless. Colin McHugh gets it loose here. And for the Oakland A's of Bob Melvin, it'll be Billy Burns in the top spot, followed by Coco Crisp and Josh Reddick. Middle three, Danny Valencia, Stephen Vogt, and Brett Lawrie in the bottom three. Ike Davis, Marcus Semien, and Eric Sogard.
Colin McHugh going for the Houston Astros. Faced the Oakland A's earlier this season on April 15th. Had his high watermark as far as strikeouts in that game. Had 11 punchies. No walks in that game. Went 5 2/3. Got the second win of the season. So talked about how good his numbers are against Oakland. Looking to try and continue it here. It's pretty good numbers against the West, even though that ERA is at 4.42.
Trying to top the league in wins. Dallas Keuchel made that attempt last night, came up empty, and that's a pretty good looking pitch to be called a ball to start.
Getting tired of these strike zones here of late.
This is Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, behind the plate.
That was way better.
Yeah.
How about McHugh and Keuchel combining for a 26-10 record on the season? Best duo in all of baseball.
2 balls and a strike. Yeah, they've been really good. And then you factor in Lance McCullers, who's back in the minor leagues just to protect that arm. Vince Velasquez. There's some pitching starting to come along. And now 3-1. Billy Burns, not a guy you want to put on base, runs very well. Collins won 7 of his last 9 starts. And he's got 3 earned runs or less in 8 of those 9. And ball 4. So the speed aboard as Coco Crisp comes to the plate.
Our pitching performance is going to be brought to you by Kubota. Colin McHugh in his last 2 starts against Oakland. We talked about that one he had earlier in the year where he had 11 strikeouts. Going to go all the way to last year to get that second start in there. 2-0 with a 1.26 ERA. Whip well under 1. A little concerning to see that first walk to Billy Burns because you talked about it. He can run out there. He's going to cause some issues, especially with Hank Conger behind home plate.
And that's a reality for the Astros right now. When Conger catches, teams are going to try to exploit that inability to throw out runners. Conger 1 of 25 in catching base stealers. Infield shallows up, especially at third base. Valbuena has to respect the bunt possibility. 2-0 the count. With that last start from Colin McHugh on Sunday, a win against the Diamondbacks. He's got 20-5 in 32 starts over the course of a year. Showing bunt, taking a strike is Crisp.
Might be a little action here in this 2-1 count. Colin having issues throwing strikes here early on. All his focus is going to be on that hitter at home plate, trying to get a fastball over for a strike. Burns may take off, try and open up a hole for Crisp, who's been struggling early on this season since coming back from the DL.
And another strike. It's 2-2.
That's another thing. When you're struggling, it's almost nice to get that hit and run because it forces you to commit to the swing. See right here, maybe a little tentative by Coco Crisp, which we're not used to seeing.
In the span of that year when Colin McHugh has gone 20-5, he has the most wins in the major leagues. And the Astros have gone 23-9 in those starts. So he's been highly successful. And the Astros need more of that here this afternoon. They have had noted struggles on the road. 23-32, 9 games under, while playing 20 over at home. Runner goes, pitch inside, and the throw down nowhere close. And so another stolen base as Hank Conger continues with the struggles. And the more he struggles, the more you're likely to see the A's try to take advantage here.
He could have been Pudge Rodriguez right there, and he's not going to get Billy Burns.
That's accurate.
That pitch, a high breaking ball, 72 miles an hour, gives the runner an extra step or two. Actually catches part of the zone, but almost a courtesy throw because that was a pretty good jump.
23 bags now for Burns, so he can go get it. 3-2 the count, and ball 4. Colin comes out here and walks the first 2 hitters. And now 2 on, nobody out for the 3-hitter Josh Reddick.
It's been a couple games on this road trip. I know we're only in our 5th game on this road trip. Or 6th game, I'm sorry. But some of these games early on have not been pretty at all. Saw Kazmir's game with a couple errors being blown up.
That was an ugly first inning.
Yeah, yesterday Keuchel with a couple ricochets. Now 2 walks to start this game. And weird, uncharacteristic stuff that we haven't seen all season long.
Josh Reddick having a nice season. .281 the batting average, 13 home runs. Driving in 58. Shift on. And with that shift on, Billy Burns can probably extend that lead, and in particular the secondary lead down at second base.
It's just kind of tough sometimes because you have the shortstop playing where the second baseman should be, so he's in at least the vicinity.
Fly ball down the left field side. Long run for Tucker inside the line, and he'll make the catch. And the runners will hold. And out number 1 as Danny Valencia comes to the plate.
Preston Tucker out there in left field. Carlos Gomez in center. Colby Rasmussen right. Around the infield. Couple of changes with Valbuena moving back over to third base. Up the middle's the same. Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve. Chris Carter gets an appearance here at his old stomping grounds at the old .co at first base. And Hank Conger doing the catching.
So Colin gets that first out. Cleanup man Danny Valencia stands in. He's the DH today.
Kind of earned that start, didn't he, after what he did to Dallas Keuchel last night?
Slammed one big time. Had a home run. It was a solo job. Also drew a walk and struck out. But went 2 for 3 last night. Recent acquisition by the A's. Has a 2-0 count.
Yeah, Valencia going on waivers after the Toronto Blue Jays traded for Troy Tulowitzki. A's snatched him up.
Not the kind of start here, I'm sure, that Colin McHugh envisioned. Shot into right field. And this one's in the gap, and they're going to run forever. 1-run scores. Here comes Crisp. He will score. 2-run double by Danny Valencia. And in the first inning, the Oakland A's lead it 2-0.
And they should. 2 walks to start out the game is not what you want to do. But that's what Oakland A's baseball, Moneyball if you want to call it that, that's what they're trained to do, is get base runners on and wait for that big hit. The cue got Josh Reddick, who's been swinging a hot bat to fly out to left field, but Valencia, after we talked about it, having that big night last night against Dallas Keuchel, earned his way into that DH spot, pays off.
32 RBIs for Danny Valencia. 5-hitter Stephen Vogt at the plate. All-star this year. And has struggled since the All-Star game, hitting .260. The Astros again with the shift. That ball hit by Valencia, though on the line, was right through that spot that normally would be manned by HOU AT OAK. And we've seen the A's kind of shooting at gaps here during the series. On the hands, popped up. Altuve maybe battling the sun a bit. 2 down in the first inning. And it brings up third baseman Brett Lawrie.
Kind of interesting numbers. We showed the numbers on Colin McHugh in his last 4 starts, pitching pretty well. He's got 17 punch outs, but the numbers, the left-handed hitters are hitting .271 off him in those 4 games. Right-handers jump up to .364 against him.
Give me some logic on that.
I don't think that cutter's quite as effective. It kind of flattens out over the plate. Maybe not pitching inside enough to be able to stand those guys up, and they're leaning over that outer third of the plate. And you just saw Danny Valencia take a fastball away and hammer it.
Pretty good looking pitch, called a ball.
But that pitch right there is that little cutter. If he's getting that late break, you can fool some pitchers with it. But right now, right-handed hitters are not chasing it.
There's the curveball. And maybe a pitch that Colin's going to have to start bringing a bit more. With Dallas Keuchel and Colin McHugh, each with 13 wins. Last time the Astros had multiple 13-game winners was 2006. Roy Oswalt and Andy Pettitte. You're going to have to earn your strikes here this afternoon. Jeff Nelson again behind the plate. Pat Hoberg at first. At second, Chris Guccione and Corey Blazer at third. There's the cutter, and a good one.
That was a good one. And watch the mechanics on pitchers. That was a good pitch to look at. Everything going down towards home plate. Oh, man. Did Nelson flinch? You've seen a little bit of a flinch from the home plate umpire. He was like, ugh. Watch the location and then watch the umpire. See him kind of almost stand up right there like he was going to ring him up. Nope, not going to do it.
Ball is slightly to the right of Hank Conger. That means he was set up in off the corner. Count stays filled. Colin McHugh in jeopardy of walking a third man here in the first inning. So you get the walks and mix in extra base hits and you're in trouble. For a ball grounded at third. Nice play by Valbuena, and the throw gets Lawrie. Very nice defensive play. That'll do it for the A's. They get a pair in the first inning. A big 2-run double by Danny Valencia. Astros leading. We mentioned a game and a half over the Angels. The Rangers have tightened things up with that sweep of the Astros earlier in the week. And then the wild card chase. Angels, Blue Jays, Orioles, Twins. Who you liking right now, Blummer?
Come on, I just want to hear you say it one time.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Do it, please.
No, they've done it on their own. I'm leaving them alone.
Okay, yeah, but they are tightening up. Those birds are getting angry over there, and the wild card coming after some people.
Thing is, if they do it, they're doing it with offense. Although, I mean, David Price now, member of the Blue Jays. Yes, they are in flight.
Yes, I got it.
Preston Tucker at the plate.
Thank you for doing that.
Has an 0-2 count. It's always my pleasure.
David Price pitched okay today, too.
People haven't really talked about David Price this year, but he's right there among the leaders in ERA as Preston Tucker goes down on 3 pitches. 1 out for Luis Valbuena.
Batting in the 7th position, third baseman, number 18.
Hey, how about that play by Luis Valbuena to end the bottom of the 1st inning? He's made it over and over this year.
It's amazing. He is good. I had no idea that Valbuena was going to be that sure-handed at third base. I mean, it's one thing to make the routine plays like he always does, but he's got the arm to back it up. But he just finds a way to make plays on some tough hops.
Good, accurate throwing arm to go with it. 1-1 on Luis. And of course, the home run game has been big for Valbuena. And a 3-1 count.
This is going to be a nice, healthy hack from Valbuena. I'm anticipating it.
21st came last night. And guys, I don't know if they still as much as formerly like to call him the big fly, and that was the big fly.
Tough backdoor cutter.
But 1-out walk and a nice little flip of the bat.
That was actually a pretty good job of staying off the changeup in that count.
Chris Carter gets the start.
How strong was your bat flip game, Ash?
No, I didn't play that one. I was not qualified to be able to come up with that.
Oh, come on. You didn't do it after a big walk?
With 1 out to start an inning. Yeah. Carter swings through it. Yeah, you pick your times, right?
Yeah. I always loved Ricky Henderson, and Kenny Lofton was a good one too. Get that 4-pitch walk with 4 pitches not even near it. He'd throw that bat down like, yeah, that's right.
Down 7 runs and
endearing himself to the opponent.
Chris Carter's hit 9 career home runs against the Oakland A's, but he's hit just .205 in 45 games. Miles an hour and swinging through it.
Chavez relies a lot of that on that little cutter, slider. Just that late movement allows for that swing and miss.
Carter's playing time has certainly gone down recently, but his last hit coming July 28th against the Angels, part of a 10-5 win on that sweep of the Angels by the Astros at home. Line shot into center field. So take that, baseball. Scalded dog, second hit for the Astros. 2 runners aboard, 1 out for Hank Conger.
Way to go, A.J. Hinch. Put Chris Carter out there. It's good to see. Swung through a couple pitches that were probably pretty good pitches to hit, but now with 2 strikes, Chavez makes a mistake up in the zone. Carter gets that knock out of the way. It's always a big hit to get that first hit in that first at bat. When you've been sitting down for a while, struggling like crazy, get that knock, start breathing a little bit differently.
It's hard to breathe when you're hitting 181 and losing your playing time. But a very well hit ball by Chris Carter. And now it's Hank Conger in the 9 spot. Pitch on the hands, and that is yanked a bit foul. That will go in the see how far you can pull it foul challenge at the end of the season.
That was impressive. Not only was that pitch about to hit him, he barreled it up. Turned on it. It was a laser over the dugout in the second deck.
Yeah, I'd like to, that previous shot we had, find a way to tell the fans exactly where that ball went.
Honey, I got tickets in a section where we're never going to get a foul ball from a left-handed hitter.
You see the red sign there, kind of above what would be the end of the dugout on the first base side, right about in that range. Ground ball right side. They'll get one at second and back to first for the double play. It goes 4-6-3. And Conger looks like he is hurt as he goes down the line, but that'll do it for the Astros in the second inning. It's a 2-0 A's lead.
Montron RV, you're covered with a warranty forever. Hi.
Presented by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. It's Jeff Blum on his little run yesterday.
You have to do that this evening. Hop on there. Go for a ride up and down them hills. No safer feeling than being in a trolley car going straight downhill in the streets of San Francisco.
Never hear about one running loose.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. They use that really strong dental floss to pull those things along. Ike Davis leads it off. We start the bottom of the second inning. Davis has hit in 4 straight.
See that replay on Conger on the Supermo, brought to you by a Mattress Firm. See that left leg kind of clipped Ike Davis right there.
Flare foul on the left side. Hank looked like something was bothering him as he went by the bag, and maybe that's it.
Must have been it. Threw that gazelle-like stride off.
Not touching that. It's Ike Davis, Marcus Semien, and Eric Sogard, the bottom three in the order for the A's here in the second. Isaac Benjamin Davis, 28 years of age, 6th year in the major leagues. Not seeing a whole lot of that well spotted four-seamer yet. It could be it as he gets his man Davis down looking. First strikeout now for Colin McHugh. And 92 miles an hour on that heater.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me when Colin was struggling a little bit throughout the middle of the season. Was the velocity was down around 88 to 90 on that heater, but when he's pitching it 91, 92 miles an hour with that fastball, see, there's that four-seamer you're talking about, Ash. But just locked up Ike Davis. Might have been looking for something with a little bit of a wrinkle. Set him up nicely.
Marcus Semien at the plate. He also has hit in 4 straight. Done a pretty nice job with the bat. Defensively, a lot of question marks. 29 errors. And we've mentioned it here in the series, but the left side of the infield for the Oakland A's has been pretty devastating defensively for this pitching staff, and yet the staff has done well.
We're not getting any earned runs put on them.
Another good fastball blown by. A couple of strikeouts in the second inning. Yeah, you know what? That might be a point. They lose ball games. Pitching staff does okay in terms of earned runs.
But that win-loss record takes a beating. I don't know. I mean, shortstop is a tough position in the major leagues. You talked about it yesterday. You think it's the toughest position on the field. You're going to get a lot of action, but if you make 15, 20 errors, that's acceptable throughout a course of a season. For third base, I'd like to see it 10 and under.
Yeah.
Not as many opportunities on the corners, but 29, and you still got a month and a half to go. Ooh.
29 at short, 20 at third base by Brett Laurie, a guy who
is good.
Excessively likes to throw on the run, in my assessment. And I think probably a number of those errors have come on the throws.
Well, and that's the hard thing too, is that those are errors that you can fix physically.
Yeah.
If you have good fundamentals, good footwork, you can make those bad throws good.
Sogard fouls it back. 1-2 the count. 2-run first inning for the A's. A couple of walks to start things to Burns and Crisp, and then Danny Valencia gapped one to right center field to the wall. And that left Burns and Crisp running all the way, and a 2-0 lead. Sogard fouls back the curveball. Pretty pesky player. Gets the job done. As you might guess, looking at him, not a lot of power. No homers on the year. 9 doubles, 1 triple.
7 career home runs.
Former second baseman, broadcasting and doing a great job for a long time with the San Francisco Giants. Dwayne Kuiper hit 1 major league home run.
Come on. Got to run into a couple more than that, don't you? I have to talk to him about that.
Foul ball down the left side. Well documented. I believe he has the most at bats for 1 home run. Kind of one of those things. And
special.
Yeah, it's good. But he was a good player. And ball 4.
It's a pretty good location.
3 walks already. And it is a tight strike zone here early on.
Man, just sinking off the edge.
No, that's one time through the order for Colin McHugh. Back to the top with Billy Burns. A walk, a stolen base, scored a run in the first inning. Supermo that previous pitch, the ball 4.
Well, normally four-seamers don't run that much. That one kind of took off a little bit.
Oakland A's with this kind of lineup really run a couple of pesky guys at you back to back. Sogard and Burns. One and one the count.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sogard try and take off and steal second base right here. If he gets thrown out, big deal. You got Billy Burns leading off the next inning. If not, you put yourself in scoring position.
Yeah, that's dead on because you have your leadoff man start the next inning if you get thrown out.
And we talked about the woes of Conger.
And again, Hank Conger has thrown out just one would-be base stealer this year. .25 successful against Hank. Pitch on the hands can be pretty successful against these guys. We've seen a lot of success for the A's on pitches away. Weston Tucker down the left side playing near the line. And it's an alignment that we've seen a lot from the Astros in recent times. A lot of times with Colby Rasmus in right field or in left. We're talking about
it's a good note.
And down on strikes is Billy Burns. We'll get to a little note we were going to give you when we come back. But 3 strikeouts in the inning for Colin McHugh. He walks his third. It's 2-0 Oakland. The A's 2-1, but that one A's hit a double with a pair aboard. It's the top of the order for the Astros here in the third inning. Altuve, Carlos Gomez, and Carlos Correa. We got a note about Dwayne Kuiper and that lone home run in the major leagues. back in 1977. And again, Dwayne Kuiper, longtime broadcaster and an excellent one with the San Francisco Giants. And by the way, his brother Glenn, same story here, one of the TV broadcasters with the Oakland A's. But that lone home run for Dwayne Kuiper came off of Steve Stone, another broadcaster for a long time in this game. I bet Stoney is just pleased as could be about that. Sharply hit ball, but a diving stop by Brett Lawrie as he robs Jose Altuve. Altuve in a bid for a second hit here on the afternoon. Very nice reaction play by the A's third sacker. Defensive change for the A's. Sam Fuld has taken over in left field for Coco Crisp, who the only thing we can guess right now is might have gotten hit, or hurt rather, as he scored on the double. Carlos Gomez at the plate. Reactionary position.
Man, he just turned into a hockey goalie sometimes.
There's Sam Fuld in left. The only hit by the Astros. Solid base hit by Chris Carter in the second inning. Set the Astros up. Valbuena had walked in front of him with one out, but then Hank Conger grounded into a double play. One out walk picked up by Gomez. He's aboard for Carlos Correa.
Kick off your weekends at Minute Maid Park with the best fireworks show in town, presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. The next Friday night fireworks is August 14th when the Astros take on the Tigers. For more information, visit astros.com/fireworks or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
This walk to Gomez, the third of the day, picked up by the Astros against Jesse Chavez. And then combine that with the fact that Colin McHugh has walked 3. We've had 6 walks already here in 2+ innings.
What do you attribute that to, Ash?
I really don't have a clue.
It's not like these pitchers are missing by much either. They're just not getting a little bit extra off the edges from Jeff Nelson. He's keeping it tight.
Yeah, I would say it's fair that, yes, it's a tight strike zone, but major league pitchers' ability to adjust.
Yep.
Correa with a big swing, foul tips it. 0-2 the count. Correa drew a walk in the first. That was the first of the 3. 14 home runs. Runner goes, the throw down, a good one, and not in time. Altuve with another stolen base. He just continues as he leads the league, number 31. To make that Gomez excuse me, the Astros lead the league in stolen bases. And for Gomez, already his 3rd as a member of the Astros.
That hand in there. There's some people in that Athletics dugout waiting to make sure.
One out, of man in scoring position. First stolen base on the afternoon by the Astros, number 84 on the season. Half swing, and the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson says you went through. That'll do it for Correa. Second strikeout picked up by Jesse Chavez. 2 down for Colby Rasmus.
Pitch you don't see too often from Jesse Chavez.
Now batting,
Big breaking ball, and Carlos Correa knew it. So did Jeff Nelson.
First base open. Shift on. Rasmus grounded to second in the first inning. Good over the topper.
Another one.
Ball and a strike. When you're talking about that running game for the Astros, Altuve leads with 30. Marisnick and Springer at 14. Carlos Correa already 8. Jonathan Villar no longer with the club with 4. And then it's Marwin and Carlos Gomez with 3.
I'm going to go out on a limb here about Carlos Correa again and say he might be a 2020 guy. Can you believe it?
That's a big, strong limb you're on. Fly ball to left, shallow. Long run for Fuld, but he gets there and makes the play. And that'll do it. A walk and a stolen base leaves Gomez at second.
The Astros AAA affiliate changed their name to the Tacos for their 5th annual taco truck throwdown promotion. The official attendance of 16,916 broke the previous Fresno baseball attendance record of just over 14,000. And those are some sweet giddy-ups right there.
Those are good.
It's been a lot of promotions, but man, those VR in that taco uniform, Singleton's in that dugout, Robbie Grossman. Man, that is some kind of special. They may have to think about permanently changing to the tacos.
Oh, they've got the pitch clock going. I forgot about that. Yeah, bring that on to the major leagues. A taco
uniform is out there and you notice the clock?
You know what? I was already taking in the uniform. I'm loving it. But I think I like that pitch clock even more. Now bring on that pitch clock for me in the major leagues. Sam Fuld leads it off. Came on defensively for Coco Crisp. We are yet to get word on what's gone on with Crisp. Ball and a strike on Fuld. Hitting .203. Good defensive outfielder. Pops it up. Shallow in right field. Will be Rasmus with the play, out number 1. Yeah, I think we're all big fans of those taco unis.
Oh, you're not looking at that. I know where you're looking.
There we go.
Get on the hill and throw it.
Let's put the ball in play, guys. There's Mark Appel on the hill, right?
Yes.
Leadoff strike on Josh Reddick, who flied to left field in the first inning. On the fist. Fly ball to center field. Gomez took a step back and then comes on to make the play. A couple of fly outs and 2 outs as the cleanup man. Danny Valencia will stand in. What makes for a good name for a minor league baseball team?
It's got to be indigenous. And it's got to be catchy. It's got to be something.
Okay.
You got to have something local. You got to have something that attributes to the area.
Tacos are omnipresent, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
California's they've got great Mexican food in California.
Yes, they do. Say that to somebody from Texas.
I will.
Strike is taken.
Got good Tex-Mex in Texas.
I hear a little divisionary talk.
Well, I mean, what do they call it? You live in 2 places.
Bilingual?
That's a good one. I guess Coco Crisp had something bad in breakfast. He left due to illness. Hopefully he's all right. It was just a one-day thing.
Line shot, a second hit of the afternoon by Danny Valencia. Had that double to plate a pair in the first inning. Now the solid single. This guy might find some playing time.
He's doing a good job of going the other way, getting on top of that fastball up in the zone and rifling it the other way.
That'll bring up Stephen Vogt, the catcher. That shift on once again. .259 the batting average for Vogt. One of the catchers on that American League All-Star squad. Hit .287 in the first half, 133 so far in the second. And you never know if that's the rigors of being behind the plate and grinding it all season long and just eventually wearing down. Or just the law of averages coming back on some guys. Two and two the count. Brent Strom will be happy with that high strike that's thrown by Vogt. Vogt came up originally with Tampa Bay in 2012, just his 4th year in the big leagues. Saw that back foot of Vogt right back there into the chalk line. Some guys have really taken advantage through the years. I remember Rod Carew had his foot angled rather severely. He would make just the slightest contact with that back chalk line And that's all that was required for the umpires. Didn't have to be within the box, just had to make contact with the box.
Back when they used chalk, and I'm sure some stadiums still use actual chalk. I mean, the leadoff guy's job was to go up there and kick that thing out for those guys hitting behind them.
Runner goes. The pitch is pop foul. I'm sure you've watched catchers before that first inning will start. Catchers will kick the chalk all out of the way in that catcher's box, and some of the area on the inside corners where they do put it down. It's not everywhere, but catchers hate all that chalk because pitches in the dirt kick chalk up in the eyes. Now, these lines are sprayed in before each game. Again, the runner in motion, down on strikes vote. Fourth strikeout for Colin McHugh. That does it for the A's. We played 3. It's 2-0 Oakland on top.
Over the Astros. Create memories, have fun, and enjoy a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite at Minute Maid Park. Call the Astros premium ticket line at 1-877-9-ASTROS and reserve your luxury suite today. I guarantee you're going to get a better view at Minute Maid Park than you are at the suites here in Mount Davis.
They serve California Mex there.
Is there Cali Mex and Tex Mex? Does that work?
You just fire the questions back at me.
I would like to go on a tour of local restaurants in both states and have a taste test myself.
Sounds like you're begging for free food is what it sounds like to me.
I am. Thank you for seeing right through that.
Evan Gattis leads it off and crushes one on a line deep to left field. Back is full to make the catch. Ball hit very well, but simply out number 1 in the 4th inning. Let's check in with Julia.
With Preston Tucker coming up, he's our Geico quote of the day, talking about being a part of the Astros this season. He said, I wanted to make it to the big leagues at some point in the year and help contribute, but I didn't know what role or how long I could be up here for. I'm playing a majority of the time, and it's awesome. Seeing the kind of lineup we have and knowing I can mix in there and potentially help us out is big. A.J. Hinch actually talking about Tucker today, saying his approach, his swing is one that could easily translate up at the big league level. A lot of rookies come up and struggle, but Preston Tucker didn't. He was actually hot right off the bat, and it's because of the approach that he takes. I don't know what you guys think up there.
Yeah, I think we've been very impressed. Thanks, Julia. First 2 home runs hitting the big leagues of the 10 he now has came as a pinch hitter. And in big situations, hits one down the right side. Dropping and out of the reach Josh Reddick is a good right fielder, so he really came on, made up some ground on this ball.
I like Tucker's bat in the lineup. Just that left-handed guy who's a threat to drive one out of the ballpark. Seems like he's putting together some better at bats here of late. Plays a decent left field, but I mean, the guy could be, you know, in this Astros lineup, this guy for me could be that, you know, 15 to 20, maybe 85 RBIs. That's a good left fielder.
It's a curveball high and deep to right field. This one is out of here. Number 11 on the year for Preston Tucker. And Jeff Blum has just called another one.
Man, this has been fun. I'm just going to start talking very nicely about everybody, and they're going to start driving it.
Now the Astros get on the board. It's 2-1 Oakland here in the fourth inning.
I have to put this stuff on my highlight reel. What a good swing.
You know, he's too dangerous to not have in there as often as possible.
That's a very good way, actually, of putting it. He is a threat. Ooh.
There's a rocket down the right side. A fair ball. As Valbuena now heads for second. Strong arm from Reddick. And it's dropped at second. Semien couldn't hang on to it otherwise. Valbuena is dead meat.
No doubt about it. Appreciate the effort. But Josh Reddick, we know what he can do in the outfield. Got a gold glove. Home ballpark, plays a Karen perfectly on that one hop, turns. Probably doesn't even have to look at where second base is. Gives it a good strong throw. Semien just let him down by dropping that ball.
You know, you can tell that Reddick can throw just with that first glance, and you can also see that Semien just gator-armed this thing.
Well, I think he was going for the tag before he actually had the ball. That happens sometimes where guys anticipate the play, but you got to make sure you have that baseball before you even attempt the tag.
But I was watching the stroke there of Reddick in right field. Just a perfect long reach behind, and doesn't take time doing it, but a beautiful stroke on the throw. Chris Carter's 1 for 1 as he stands in. Astros trying to get back even here in the fourth inning. Hayes with 2 in the first. 2-run double by Danny Valencia. 11 dingers by Preston Tucker. This ball is rocketed to left field. Full gets there to make the play. One sharply hit ball after another. 2 outs in the inning, and those were rockets. Gaddis and Carter.
Yeah, there's been some well struck balls in this game, but pitch before this one, Tucker turned on it, fouled it off, and Chavez decided to try and slow him down after speeding up that bat. But the way that Preston Tucker has a tendency to go down and get some of those pitches down in the zone and stay through them is real nice. Watch the lower half. The hands are back, recognition right there, and then just throws the lower half into it and drives it.
You know, on that breaking ball,
must have swung too hard.
Here's a sharply hit ball fouled by Hank Conger. The Astros are seeing the baseball here in the fourth inning. I was going to say, on that low breaking ball, what I've noticed with Tucker is that front knee tends to bend and kind of give down into the pitch, whereas a lot of times he'll lock up on pitches up just a little bit.
I don't know how to explain it, but left-handers, for whatever reason, just have that happy zone is down. Then I think Tucker makes it look easy.
Yep. Then I think of Prince Fielder and that gorgeous stroke he employs, and even on the pitch up and away, he'll just stay right there and hit through the baseball.
There are some good signs, good swings in this inning. He called it with Gaddis, that leadoff line drive to left, and then Carter smoked that 1-2 for an out.
Strike 3 called outside corner. Conger down. That's 3 strikeouts for Chavez. The Astros do get on the board as they start swinging it much better. It's 2-1 as Preston Tucker hits number 11.
In Oakland, California. We are way up high, though, at this ballpark and trying to give you a bird's eye view of the ball game. Fans can't get tickets up here anymore, though, where we are in this upper deck section at HOU.co. All this area covered in tarp has been that way since 2006. And this entire area, about 10,000 seats they tried to add, they put in 1996, completely changing the dynamic of this ballpark. Hitters all of a sudden felt like they couldn't hit. It enclosed it, but it also blocked all the views of the gorgeous Oakland hills that sit just behind this stadium. Fans nicknaming this area Mount Davis after the late former Raiders owner Al Davis. Guys, when the wind picks up here, it gets really scary.
Make sure and lock in up there, Julia. We don't want to see you blown away. Thanks a lot. It's a beautiful sight, isn't it?
No, it's not. I remember I was going to school here at Cal, and we'd come down and watch games and sit in bleachers out there in the right and left center field. It was a great view when that thing wasn't there. I wonder what the wind patterns were, if it was a really good place to hit before Mount Davis went up.
Tallest mountain within the confines of this parking lot area around the stadium. Oh, 2 the count. Brett Lawrie at the plate. Grounded out to third. Nice play by Valbuena to get him. That back in the first inning.
Does that mean that nobody has sat up there since 2006?
You know, even the Oakland Raiders are going to tarp off part of Mount Davis this year. Yeah.
What was the point? Like, even with the, I mean, there's been playoff games here for the Oakland A's. They don't even open it up for that.
I wonder if that was done. I don't know the history, but the Raiders went to LA. Was this part of the deal that we'll put in more seats to get the Raiders back here?
I have no idea. So instead of building an entirely new stadium, just the addition of Mount Davis brought them back.
You don't want to eliminate the historical value of this ballpark. Apparently they needed 70,000 seats to host the Super Bowl. That's with or without tarps.
And they have yet to host a Super Bowl.
Surprising.
Ah, there's a good view of it. Those Oakland hills in the background. Ah, look at that. So much more appealing.
Brett Lawrie just keeps fouling them off. 2-2 the count. 2-1 A's. Seen a 2-run double by Danny Valencia of Oakland and a solo home run by Preston Tucker, his 11th in the 4th inning. Strike 3 called. Lawrie caught looking. 5 strikeouts for Colin McHugh.
Colin's been working good to that side of the plate for both right-handed and left-handed hitters.
Number 17.
See him paint the corner on the outside, get Ike Davis with that fastball away. Now he just runs it in on the hands of Lawrie. Just a 4-seam fastball, but gets a little bit on the side of it, creates a little bit of run, and there's no time to react for Lawrie. It's a good look.
We mentioned that Colin McHugh has won 4 consecutive starts. Beat the Diamondbacks with 7 quality innings, allowing just 1 run last time out. 6 strikeouts in that one, and an even 100 pitches. Starting to sharpen things up. He walked 2 in the first inning, 1 more in the second. Ike Davis struck out looking as he led off the second inning. That was a low strike.
Nelson getting some ire from Ike. And that is the reason why.
You see Davis, it looked like he was saying that's bad.
He's right.
High fastball popped up. Valbuena near the coaching box. 2 outs. Jose Cruz, one of the great players in Astros history. Happy 68th birthday, Cheo.
Feliz cumpleaños to Cheo. Love that guy. A lot of people in Houston love that guy too.
Yes, sir, and for good reason.
Yep.
A lot of former teammates that certainly love Jose Cruz. Happy birthday, Cheo. Marcus Semien at the plate. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Jeff still makes it out to the ballpark. A run on 4 hits for Houston. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Oakland A's. Both hits have been picked up by Danny Valencia. Drive to the gap in right center field. Rasmus on the run. Can't get there. 1 hop up against the wall. Semien stops at second base with a 2-out double. It'll bring up Eric Sogard, the 9-hitter.
A bright spot for the Oakland Athletics has been Semien's bat. We talked about the errors, but the good thing is he can go out there and swing the bat a little bit. He's got some good pop. It's a pitch. That's not a bad pitch from Colin McHugh down over that outer third. Showing some good opposite field pop.
And 19 doubles now. Eric Sogard drew one of those 3 walks issued by Colin McHugh. What has gone on for the Astros each time they get to 14 games over 500? Ball and a strike. Ground ball right side. Altuve to a knee. Takes his time to get Sogard. That'll do it for the A's in the 4th inning. You get a 2-out double from Semien as he's stranded. 2-1 A's.
By Houston Methodist, August 14th and 15th. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of the 2005 NLCS team with a special pregame ceremony, a 2005 NLCS t-shirt, a commemorative World Series tumbler, each to 10,000 fans. For more information, visit Astros.com/Legends Weekend or call 1-877-9-ASTROS today. Ash?
Thanks a lot, Julia. You having fun down there today, or up there, or wherever you are?
I've made it back down. Took me a while, but I got back down here.
How do you not go to the top? Come on, Julia.
I did. I took a picture.
Did you take the ropes down?
I was going to say, they must have tied you to something, because you fly away up there.
It's a little frightening.
We're in the 5th inning. Jose Altuve leading off, followed by Carlos Gomez and Carlos Correa. Jose's 1 for 2. He's hit 2 balls sharply. Base hit in the 1st inning as he shot one into left field. Then hit one sharply on the ground inside the bag in the 3rd inning. That as Brett Laurie at third base able to backhand it and throw out Altuve. By the way, the last time the Astros got to 14 games over 500, August 2nd, that was last Sunday. And that, of course, the end of the homestand for Houston.
Kind of seems to be the ceiling this year for this ball club, huh?
I believe they've gotten there 3 times. Popped up on the right side. Ike Davis with the play and 1 out. As a player, media comes in, they pose those questions. You don't think about it otherwise, but why is it you guys can't seem to get any past 14 games over 500? And you start to hear that. And I wonder, does that
seed gets
impact
planted.
guys?
Yeah, because you're right. As a player, you're not looking at that. You're not really looking at how many games over 500 you are. You're just going out there trying to compete each day. But then, like you said, you keep hearing it over and over, and then you actually look at the standings and put that number in your head, and you're like, man, can't get there.
Carlos Gomez with a big swing and then a bunt effort. That's an 0-2 count. I think that's true for a lot of the stories that go on with baseball teams or any sport. It's the media that comes in and poses the question, and then you start dealing with it.
Well, how about this day and age? I mean, Twitter, Facebook, all these social media outlets and media outlets, period. Yeah, you're going to see some things that you probably wouldn't normally, just because there's so much information out there.
Do you have one question that used to get under your skin that the media would bring in?
Not that I can remember. Do you have one that you recall?
No, you know, the question came to mind. I'm sure there were times when I thought, you know, not a fan of that question coming around here, but right now I don't recall. Pitch has popped up. Foul territory. It's large here. And Ike Davis takes advantage. 2 down. We'll bring up Carlos Correa with bases empty and 2 outs. Well, for example, why do you guys struggle on the road so much? Sure, that's a question that's been in the clubhouse.
Why do they? Yeah, everybody feels the need to ask that question that you know that they don't have an answer for, because you can't pinpoint one thing.
Why are you guys so good at home? I used to hear that question, and you'd hear guys pontificate and come up with answers, and all of them were just on the spot made up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ground ball's foul outside the bag. Correa has walked and struck out.
You start getting questions like that, and then you just start, like you said, getting real creative.
Yeah.
Seeing what you could get away with saying and see if they'll actually print it or put it out there.
You know, we're just comfortable in this ballpark, and you know, and then you start going on, and in reality, it's hard to define why a team is good at home and bad on the road, or with some of the clubs where it goes the other direction.
Yeah, and knowing those road woes, I looked up, you know, the Los Angeles Dodgers having a great year. Their road record, they're 4 games under 500 on the road. I mean, and they look at the pitching staff they've got.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's something you can pinpoint. It's not an awful record, but it's such a huge discrepancy between home and road for the Astros, and it kind of makes you wonder.
Well, you run into that occasional club that's having a good season that doesn't play well at home.
Well, and everybody, you know, everybody on the outside is going to look back and say, well, Minute Maid Park is the reason why these guys are playing so well. But in order to win games at Minute Maid Park, you've got to have great pitching. So the pitching and the offense obviously is a key at home, but they get relatively decent pitching. The numbers aren't that different if you start going through them.
Well, the Astros, if you go back to the early 2000s, won at Minute Maid Park with great pitching, you might say. Jose Lima might have told you that that wasn't such a friendly pitcher's ballpark. As Correa draws the 2-out walk. Second walk picked up by Correa. But they also had great hitting. Guys who took advantage of that ballpark in the Crawford boxes. So, I mean, it kind of goes with the type of team you have.
So basically what we've done is confirm nothing.
That's exactly
we have no
right.
answer whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, if you went down and you asked every one of the players, coaches, manager, why on these questions, I bet you'd get a vast array of answers, including no idea.
Guarantee it.
But what the Astros can do is enjoy the fact that they are 38-18 at home, 20 games over 500, and keep that thing going. 25,091 on hand here this afternoon.
Well, that's got to be the silver lining. Yeah, their record isn't great on the road, but they are fantastic at home, so they're more than making up for it.
You know, even the Kansas City Royals, who have the best record in the American League, at 20 games over 500, they're very good at home. They're just barely above 500 on the road, which is kind of that formula. Play great at home, play 500 or a bit above on the road, and you've had a heck of a season. But it feels like at this stage for the Astros that you've got to start finding a little more success away from home.
Got to bring in a head doctor.
Oh, I've been on a team that did that.
I have too.
We had the psychologist, psychiatrist, somebody came in and tried to put us all in a trance and all kinds of good stuff.
Losing is a disease.
Yeah, we got put up against a wall with our forehead on the wall, and we're told that we couldn't pull ourselves off, and a number of us of course did, and then we were scolded. And
can we please get a reenactment of that?
Line drive off the glove of the shortstop Semien. It's a base hit for Colby Rasmus. Stopping at second is Correa, as the Astros try to kick something up here in the 5th inning as Evan Gattis comes to the plate. Yeah, it was a beautiful sight.
With as many characters as you get in a major league clubhouse, sometimes those meetings can be disastrous.
And I won't name names, but there were a few guys that had their forehead stuck on the wall, and there were a lot of chuckles to be had.
Cheo's birthday. I can only imagine what a guy like Cheo would do. That would be entertaining. There's a rocket off of Colby's bat. They've been hitting the ball hard off of Chavez. Just high enough. Carlos Correa would have caught it.
He'd have found a way, wouldn't he?
Yep, and he'd have made it look good too.
Evan Gattis is 0 for 2. That second out was a rocket hit to left field on a line. Sam Fuld put a glove on it. Left-hander Fernando Abad now gets loose in the pen, and there's the ground ball to short. They'll get the force at second, and that'll do it for the Astros. A hit and a walk. They leave a pair through 4.5. It's 2-1. A's on top.
local Honda dealer. Here's your clues. Former All-SEC, All-American, and first-round pick. He still owns 8 career records at his alma mater. He played every position but pitcher and catcher. Tweet your guesses to us. We will answer this later in the broadcast. You all over this up there, guys?
Wow. Yep. Nailed it.
You got it already?
Oh, yeah.
I think I might know. I'm not dead certain. Top of the order for the A's here in the 5th inning as they lead it 2-1. Billy Burns at the plate. It's a ball and a strike. Sam Full to follow, and then Josh Reddick here in the 5th inning. Series tied at a game apiece. Fly ball to left field. Tucker's there and almost sees this get over him. 1 out in the 5th.
Still got images of 25 Major League Baseball players with their forehead against the wall. That was a good one.
If you think I'm kidding.
Oh, man. The things we do to try and correct issues in baseball, well, it's unbelievable, man.
You've, of course, been a part of the the events where bats get thrown all over the place, beat up by other bats, lit on fire.
Well, I told you that. I go, I've had sessions where we've taken batting gloves, put them in a coffee can, lit them on fire. We've, like you said, your guy will come in, just take the bats out of the bat rack, throw them around. We actually there was a team we were on, it might have been Miguel Tejada with the Astros. He would just pull a bat out of the bat rack and hand it to you, and you just take whatever he gave you up to the dish.
Took your random bat.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to mix up anything.
I've had teammates who kept their bats separate from all the other guys' bats, and nobody was allowed to touch them.
That was a fun deal until somebody handed you Craig Biggio's telephone pole of a bat. And you were like, I can't do this.
The Jimmy Fox kind of thick handle thing.
Yeah. Didn't have a knob. I mean, there was no taper. It was just this very firm piece of wood that just felt terrible.
Had teammates who would put their bats in those sanitary socks and put cologne of some sort on the bats and try to keep them just smelling perfect to go out and get 4 hits.
My most successful one was because each guy's handed a individual bat bag for when you travel, and it holds about a dozen bats.
When did that start?
Well, I mean, as early as, I guess I didn't have one with Montreal. It was when I came to Houston. They actually gave you an individual bat bag, but they still have the team bag if you just wanted to throw them in there. But what I found is I would take my individual bat bag, I'd put my bats in it, and I would just literally go take a bottle of Advil, pour about 40 tablets of Advil into the bag, hoping to cure whatever was wrong.
Another fly ball to left field. Near the line comes Tucker. That's 2 down. And Josh Reddick comes to the plate. Got some of the answers coming in on Julia's question. Name that Astro. Billy Spires from Fred Merkel. Christian says Craig Biggio. Got a Chris Burke guess by Justin Redding. He should have guessed for Tim Redding, don't you think? Daniel Hodges with Chris Burke.
Yeah, Chris Burke, a big player at UT.
Seems to be the leader in the clubhouse right now. Slow curveball bends in for a strike. Watch saying UT when you're
you like that,
broadcasting for the Houston Astros.
Stirred up a little bit.
Shot to the gap in right center field. Reddick has himself a knock and extra bases. He'll dig for second. Gomez gets it back in. It's a 2-out double and brings up Danny Valencia, who has 2 of the A's hits today.
And the only 2 runs batted in. One of the few changeups we've seen from Colin McHugh, and Reddick swinging that hot bat, does a good job of staying back and driving it in that right center field gap.
18 doubles for Reddick. He's in scoring position. Valencia with a double to plate a pair and a single. And then you don't want to be on one of those teams where the offense is struggling so much that the pitchers all start avoiding the offensive players or pointing fingers or whatever the case might be. I'm not sure I would enjoy the football experience where you've got offense and defense portions of the clubhouse in some or maybe all cases.
Oh, that was a big no-no to have. Like if a pitcher was getting so annoyed going over and rattling the bat rack, you're like, hey, dude,
leave the bats alone.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Got a couple of good tweets about the struggles of the Astros on the road.
Right-hander Josh Fields gets loose in the Astros pen.
No Tex-Mex on the road.
Oh, that's a good point. Hadn't considered that.
Although we just came from Dallas.
And the off-speed curveball gets Valencia on strikes. That's 6 now for Colin McHugh as he's at 98 pitches. 2-1 A's. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. And by HEB, no store does more than my HEB. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Big Time Bats, the Craig Biggio Louisville Slugger Hall of Fame bat is now available. Call Big Time Bats at 866-490-BATS or see it at bigtimebats.com. We're in the 6th inning. Preston Tucker leading it off as an 0-1 count. Tucker launched one in the 4th inning to right field, his 11th long ball of the year. And that's the lone Houston run to this point. A's scored 2 in the 1st inning. And it's turned into a well-pitched game. Colin McHugh and Jesse Chavez. That on the heels of Dallas Keuchel. And of course Sonny Gray for the Oakland A's yesterday, a game that took 2 hours and 20 minutes. Little chopper on the right side. Ike Davis with the play, goes to the bag, and out number 1.
Luis Valbuena has been swinging a pretty good bat here on this road trip. That was home run number 21 right there in Arlington into the upper tank to a happy Astro fan. But what I like to see is that he's been getting some knocks in between these home runs. That ball was smoked last night off of Sonny Gray. He's showing a good quick bat. The route he's taking to the baseball is much quicker, staying through it. quick glance at it.
Pop down the left side. Tough play. Sam Fuld again. He's a good outfielder and makes a nice play. Moving right into that Oakland A's bullpen. So Valbuena flies out. 2 outs quickly here in the 6th.
Well, that stunk. Coming into this game today on this road trip, I'm going to still give him some love. He's hitting .438, had a home run. He's got a couple home runs on this road trip. Too bad we had to do that to him.
It's all your fault.
I didn't run the highlight. I'm going to take heat for a lot of stuff, but I can't take heat for that.
Chris Carter at the plate, 1 for 2.
I think I just got my bus driver's license.
Driving over people now. Carter has hung out 2 line drives today, and nice to see for Chris.
It is. Could you imagine if this bat turned around and started getting extremely hot and driving the ball out of the ballpark like he did last year? My
sure
goodness.
would mean a lot for this team. There's an expanded outside edge. One and 2 on Chris. Quietly takes that breaking ball.
It's always a good sign, isn't it?
See that front side fly open, and even if the guy holds the bat back, you know he's not seeing the ball quite right. Carter down on strikes. That's 4 for Jesse Chavez, a 1-2-3 6th inning, and the A's maintain their lead.
Sale now. Guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Ash?
Thanks, Julia. We come into Oakland and Julia running around the ballpark, checking out Mount Davis and everything. I don't know if there's any food goodies here for Julia to enjoy the ball game with.
Why would you need to eat concession food when we have such great media dining?
I guess that's true.
Do y'all remember the corn dog I had last year?
Here?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like a foot-long corn dog.
Was it good? That? Was it good?
Y'all don't remember this?
No.
I may have to find one. I may have to find one tomorrow.
I black out every time I come through here.
We're looking at Dennis Eckersley and Ricky Henderson down the left field side.
I saw that too. Tough to miss.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 5-hitter Stephen Vogt at the plate has popped up and struck out. 100 pitches now for Colin McHugh as Tony Sipp continues to loosen for the Astros down the right side. Shaky first inning, a couple of walks and a double, and the only 2 runs for the A's on the afternoon, but that's been enough to this point. Mike Fiers gets his first start for the Astros tomorrow. 3:05 Houston time as Fiers goes up against right-hander Chris Bassett. And that'll close out this 4-game series with the Oakland A's, but not the stay here in the San Francisco area for the Astros. Monday's an off day, and then 2 games against the San Francisco Giants. Scott Kazmir and Scott Feldman will pitch in those 2 games. Madison Bumgarner in that first game for the reigning world champions. High heat thrown on by Colin McHugh. Another strikeout. That's 7.
Well, we take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Progressive. There it is. Ash Call and Rear are going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 more days here in San Francisco before heading home with that day off before a big homestand. Detroit, Tampa Bay, and LA coming through. Still can't wait to see some of those pitching matchups that you and Brownie are going to get to call, especially later in that series. You know, Chris Archer has a chance to throw in that Tampa Bay series, but that Dodger Astro series is going to be a fun one to watch.
Maybe a chance to see Clayton Kershaw, and Greinke has been spectacular for the Dodgers. I saw an argument that he might be the MVP right now if you ended the season at this moment. See where Greinke hit a home run the other day. Mixed in a little bat flip on top of it.
You got to have the bat flip these days.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually intentional. I think it was that shock of having hit the ball that well, and bat just came flying out of the hands.
A full body spasm. He went, what?
Spasm is probably the perfect word. One out, Brett Laurie at the plate, a 3-1 count. Don't know if Colin can afford a walk at this point. Two clubs have met already 11 times this year. The Astros winning the first 7. Or rather 7 of the first 11. Of course, the A's winning yesterday's game 3-1. Two count. Popped up on that right side. Long run for Rasmus, and he runs out of room. Very aggressive effort.
Well, that's the thing. Playing here at O.co, you just go. Because you never know. You might have a shot to get one here. Feels like you're running for days, though.
Colin back with another 3-2 and got a high fastball at 89. Back-to-back strikeouts, 3 in a row. In fact, now for Colin McHugh, 8 on the afternoon. And now Ike Davis comes to the plate.
He likes racking up punch-outs against this Oakland A's team. But today we've seen vintage Colin McHugh with that elevated fastball, able to get it by him. Velocity's been good. He's had a little bit of cut. We've seen good breaking balls. But still just enough life on that to sneak it past some of these Oakland A's hitters.
Popped up left side. It's Valbuena with the chase and gets there but can't make the play. That long run looking up into the sun. And just doesn't happen in the end.
Well, it's unnatural to run that far and still have the chance to catch a fly ball, and your internal instincts or that internal clock that we've talked about kind of breaks down a little bit. Right here, it almost looks like he kind of snipered on the edge of the grass and the dirt, because you can see at the last second. Watch his head. Yeah, he took it right off the ball, and that's why he dropped that thing, and then full deflation.
No error on the board. That was a chance for Colin McHugh to get out at 112 pitches. Mike Davis just 3 home runs this year. In 68 games, just 20 RBIs.
Good effort to run that far, but like you said, this is a tough ballpark with the sun. But the head starts to move away, and then you just kind of guess. Might have overrun it. And then just,
Walk it down the right side, deep at the wall. This one's off the top of the wall. Rasmus gets it back in and holds this to a long and very sharply hit single. Well, that's the price you pay when you don't get the out that you're presented. Nice play by Colby.
Now batting, shortstop.
Mike Davis is one of the few guys who's been able to get on top of that high cheese that Colin McHugh's been bringing. Just about a foot from going out.
Notice how quickly Colby Rasmus was able to take that ball and get it back to the infield. It's 5 hits for the A's now, both teams with 5 hits on the day. Marcus Semien has one of those, a 4th inning double.
Colin McHugh's had some issues getting that 3rd out. 2nd inning, back-to-back punch outs, a walk. 3rd inning, gets the first 2 outs, gives up a base hit. 4th inning, same thing. 5th inning, same thing. And here, again, kind of an odd coincidence.
Colin had 114 pitches against these A's earlier in the season. 114 against the Angels at Anaheim.
It really doesn't look like he's laboring, and we haven't seen a drop in that velocity either.
A nice pitch. Called a ball. It's 3-0. And this.
Sorry, it'd be awfully nice if Colin McHugh could battle through this, get through the 6th inning, come out of this game with a chance for the offense to pick him up and give him that win.
Could be the last man that Colin faces if he doesn't get Marcus Semien. On the 3-0, Semien has the green light. There's 27 pitches back in the 1st and then 22 in the 2nd. Not helpful, but made a day of it. And now 3-2.
Nasty.
That'll put Davis on the move at first base. And it's popped up. Shallow and right. Easy for Colby Rasmus. And that'll do it. So Colin McHugh does get out of the 6th inning. He yields that 2-out single to Davis. 2-1 the A's maintain that lead.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. These were your clues. You had a lot of correct answers. It was Chris Burke, former Tennessee Volunteer. Had one heck of a career there before becoming a Houston Astro.
Do you think fans would have guessed it if you said hit an 18th inning home run against the Atlanta Braves?
Yep.
In the NLDS? That might have been a dead giveaway.
Too easy, too easy.
That's one of the big swings for the Astros in their playoff history.
Absolutely.
And Conger stands in, hits a ground ball to first on the first pitch here in the 7th inning. And with that one out.
Number 27.
Top of the order, Jose Altuve's 1 for 3. Jesse Chavez, who had not been having a lot of success in recent starts, pitching well this afternoon. Altuve shows bunt and takes a strike. And we had a lot of the folks coming in with Chris Burke as their guest today, so
I am thoroughly impressed with the fans who are watching these games and come up with these answers. They've been doing a great job.
Little tapper third base side, charging hard and booting it is Brett Laurie, and we'll see how this is ruled. And the Astros maybe thinking right now they've got to take advantage of this, that speed of Altuve aboard.
This is a full-on assault to this ground ball by Brett Laurie. Good grief. Sometimes you get moving that fast and you start hitting your heels as you're coming to it. The ball's moving around a little bit, but that glove gets real firm.
Scorekeeper taking into account the speed of Altuve. They've ruled it an infield single. Second hit for Altuve.
So the hands, the feet, everything going at the baseball, and just jams his glove into the ground and clanked it.
So the leading base stealer in the American League aboard. 1 out for Carlos Gomez. We are in the Carlos section of the order. Gomez and Correa. Carlos Gomez now hitting .243 in an Astros uni. The Oakland A's have a pair of arms throwing in their pen. They've got a left-hander, Drew Pomeranz, throwing.
That's Rodriguez.
Fernando Rodriguez, the right-hander.
Gave up that bomb to Carlos Correa.
Oh, 0-2 the count now on Carlos Gomez. Another one of those ball games where it feels like the Astros need that one big swing.
It's pretty much how they've been playing throughout the year. A lot of home runs hit. But you and I both know it's a lot easier to hit home runs when you're not trying to hit home runs, but it definitely looks like in recent games they've been trying to get that one big swing.
Jesse Chavez has been tough to run on this year. He's allowed 5 bags, 5 caught stealings with him on the mound. Big swing by Gomez. LA Angels a game and a half back at the start of play today. Ground ball to second, 2 hops. Sogard, Simeon, and back to first base, and they do not get the double play. They'll get the force out to erase Altuve. 4-6, and now the speed of Gomez aboard.
I'm curious to see that Altuve's been on base twice, hasn't made an attempt to steal a bag. And with Carlos Gomez's speed, that ball not hit hard enough to turn that double play.
Here you go again. It's Carlos Correa up in a big spot late in the ball game.
How many times can they put it on this kid?
Just keep doing it,
man.
I say.
Well, I was going to say, he keeps stepping up, so why not?
He's drawn 2 walks today, also struck out. The Angels have a night game tonight. They'll host the Baltimore Orioles. Garrett Richards against Ubaldo Jimenez. So that's one we'll want to watch. Ooh, there's your big swing.
A good pitch to hit.
I bet Carlos would like that one back. Blue Jays have defeated the Yankees 6-0. We have been talking about how well the Yankees have been playing. The Blue Jays going to the Bronx and start making life tough on those Yankees. First place New York Mets in the National League East lead 3-0 over the Rays in the first. Fly ball to center. This is not hit all that well. Burns to his left makes the catch. That does it for the Astros in the 7th inning. Get a 1-out single and leave him. Tony Sipp. And it's our AT&T call to the pen.
44th appearance. Good numbers against both lefties and righties. I would believe that Valbuena just smoked him with the ball, throwing it back to him. Hope that doesn't affect him. Good strikeout to walk ratio too. 40 punch outs on the season for Tony Sipp in those 39 and a third innings. Yes, 39 and a third.
Colin McHugh, 121 pitches today. Leaves trailing 2-1. Pretty gritty performance. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 3 walks, they came early, and 8 strikeouts for Colin. Eric Sogard leading off in the 7th. Infield pinched in at the corners.
I'll give you $3 if you can tell me what song they're playing in the bleachers out there. Can you name that tune with that beat they've got going?
Yeah, that's that surfer song.
What's that? We need Julia to get on this.
What was that song called back in the
Cowabunga or something?
60s, 70s?
I don't know. I'm not Yeah, there you go. Wipeout.
Yeah, Wipeout. Carl Patterson comes through. He knows all the songs, movies. Wait for the guitar part to come in. It's coming soon. Popped up. Another chance for Valbuena. The long run and the slide, and another one is not handled. I'm not sure he'll ever choose to come to Oakland as a free agent.
Well, it's tough. As a third baseman, you got a left-handed hitter up there. You see where he's playing, almost in that 5.5 hole. That's a long way to go, no matter what, if you're playing straight up. But a valiant effort. And of course, like every ball player that goes out there and plays hard every day, feels he should have made that play.
It's an area code change.
Yeah, you got to go all the way to Dublin to make that play.
Well, on top of it, the sun shining. Well, that's twice today. Neither one an error recorded. Sogard at the plate with a 1-2 count. And Sogard down on strikes. That's 9 strikeouts against the A's today, and yet they lead it 2-1.
We get a chance to talk about Colin McHugh, who has the other 8 strikeouts in this game. Did a good job, had a good game plan. Was actually getting squeezed on the edges with home plate umpire Jeff Nelson back there, but does a good job of setting up some of these pitches. Did some good swings and misses, but the ability to be able to just throw 4-seam fastballs and get those punch outs means you're doing some other things good to get to that point. 8 punch outs. Colin McHugh going 6 strong. You talked about all the pitches he threw, only gave up 5 hits, giving up 2 earned runs. Run support's actually been pretty good for Colin McHugh over the year, right around 5.76. But nothing today for the offense to pick up Colin McHugh's strong effort.
Now Colin would like to go back to that first inning and get away from those first 2 hitters, walks to Burns and Crisp.
Isn't that the truth?
Following tomorrow's game, the Astros have the off day and then take on the Giants a pair. Giants are trailing at Chicago with the Cubs 5-3 in the 7th. Pittsburgh Pirates lead the Dodgers in Pittsburgh, 5th inning, 6-4 the score there. Checking in on the Rangers again, 3-3 with Seattle in the 5th.
Changeup from Sip. Seeing him mix up his pitches a little bit better. Fastball, slider, changeup.
Burns picked up that walk in the first inning as he started things against Colin McHugh. Stole second base, his 23rd of the year, and scored on the double by Danny Valencia, as did Coco Crisp. And since then, shutdown time. That Blue Jays win over the Yankees, David Price the winner. Now 11-4, ERA at 2.35, 7 shutout innings. Down on strikes, Billy Burns. That's 10 now for Houston pitching.
Follow the Astros all season with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCasts, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. I saw something that said the Blue Jays are 10-0 with Troy Tulowitzki in the lineup. Have to check that one, but that would be a pretty impressive trade.
First baseman Justin Smoke had a grand slam for the Blue Jays. Nobody talks about him, but they've got some big bats. Sam Fuld stands in. Came on for Crisp in the second inning. And I haven't heard anything. Coco Crisp possibly injuring himself as he scored on the double by Valencia. You got something?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. He came out due to illness. Not sure what the illness was, but is not feeling good enough to go.
Ball and a strike on Fuld. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Good outfielder, makes it look routine. And a 2-2 count. Tony Sipp comes in throwing right around 90 miles an hour. Tomorrow it's Mike Fiers in that first start for the Astros against Chris Bassett. A 3:05 Houston start. Monday off. And then night game against the Giants on Tuesday night. That's Scott Kazmir against Madison Bumgarner. How about that for a pair of left-handers? And then a day game, 2:45 Houston start on Wednesday. Scott Feldman against Andrew Heston.
What? 12:45.
Yeah, 12:45 here.
Yeah, I'm trying to work the numbers. And
set your alarm now.
Grief. That's good though. Get you guys back into Houston at a decent hour.
How soon does that get you back to SoCal?
Oh man, quick. About 45-minute flight from here down to South Orange County for me.
Back to the Duke. John Wayne.
Yep. We're going camping again, Ash.
You guys had such a good time. You're going to do it again.
Yeah. Go with my brother and his family. That'll be nice.
Favorite treat while camping?
Oh, well, we talked about it. The s'mores.
So you're going to go,
man, yeah.
S'mores.
Get the campfire going.
What's the favorite meal while camping?
Pretty good. Is it barbecuing when you cook over open flame like that?
I guess so. You don't do it in the tin foil?
We have in the past, but I like throwing it just straight onto the grill. Actually, last time out there, my mother-in-law brought a couple filet mignons out there.
Yeah, that's roughing it. Way to go.
We did it up nice.
What size TV did you bring along?
Oh, come on. We could use your guitar skills around the campfire.
Yeah, that would be good. It would keep the family scattering.
No, are you kidding me? I doubt it.
3-2 the count. Tony Sipp trying to get Sam Fuld. What time do you guys get up in the morning on a typical camping day?
Well, the kids are raring to go, so they're up as soon as that sun cracks through. They are ready to go.
Just like at home, huh?
Yeah, we've been training them pretty good in the summertime to sleep in.
Hit on the ground. Altuve with the play. 1-2-3 7th inning for Tony Sipp. We played 7. It's 2-1 Oakland.
They lost their first game here at HOU last night, 4-1 now on the year. We've seen some exciting games between these two teams so far this year. Could be another one. It's our Whataburger What a Place as we look back at 3 big wins for the Houston Astros against the A's. The first one being the extra inning win on April 24th, winning that one in the 10th. Margot coming up big, and then Evan Gattis coming through in the 9th. This was a couple of days later. They swept this series. And then Correa and Lowry, 2 big hits, saving the day on Thursday to open this 4-game series. These are 3 huge, really exciting, fun games for this Astros team against a team that had so much success against them the past couple of years. We want you to pick your favorite one out of those. April 24th, 26th, and then, of course, this past Thursday. Here are your options. Tell us which one you like best, A, B, or C. Talk about it later.
Thanks, Julia. Those are tough ones right there.
Really are.
I'm kind of partial to that big home run by Carlos Correa.
It was a good one.
Kind of got me fired up. Then the game went back tied, and Jed Lowry came up with a huge one. New left-hander Drew Pomeranz on to pitch for the Oakland A's as he faces Colby Rasmus, Evan Gattis, and Preston Tucker.
He's had a rough go of late. Drew Pomeranz has allowed 6 runs over his past 9 outings. Includes 1 start in there, but in 8 innings, 6.75 ERA. He's 0-1 with a 5.02 ERA against the Astros in 3 games, all starts.
As good as the pitching was last night, might have been better here today. Jesse Chavez, 7 innings of 1-run ball. Allowed that home run. Preston Tucker launched one. And that was it. Colin McHugh, 6 innings, allowing 3 runs. Make that 2 runs, excuse me. Down on strikes, Colby Rasmus out number 1 in the 8th. It's 4-5-6. So if you're going to get back to Altuve, Gomez, Correa, you're going to have to make something happen.
Number 11, Evan Gattis.
Getting an early vote on the Gattis double. That was classic stuff at the time.
I think Brownie even chimed in. Saw him throw one. I think he voted for Gattis also.
Yeah, I love that one. I remember the emotion when Marwin came up with his big swing.
That's the one thing with this Astros team is that they are going to fight their brains out. It may not go extremely well as you get a look at Marwin Gonzalez on deck, but these guys are going to scratch and crawl and keep swinging. They're not going to give in.
Yeah, it's 8th inning, time to consider using the bench. The bench today, Jason Castro, Jake Marisnick, Jed Lowry, and Marwin Gonzalez. Fly ball to right. And Reddick with the play. 2 down here in the 8th inning. And now the pinch hitter Marwin Gonzalez. This is the Preston Tucker spot. Preston winds up 1 for 3 with that home run in the 4th inning.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, for Houston. Batting in for Preston Tucker, number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
For Marwin, a .264 batting average. Switch hitter batting right-handed.
A good tweet. Speaking of Marwin Gonzalez, Aaron Miller voted for that Marwin Gonzalez hit because it started the 10-game winning streak.
Now, I couldn't have told you that. My recollection, though, was that it came before in the game previous to the Gattis hit, and it was at a time where we weren't sure who the Astros were, and it felt like it kind of set a tone.
Proceeded to go down and just blow up San Diego's program in that road trip.
Did they ever? But that's also when Jed Lowry got hurt. And boy, that first long trip was really good for the team. Marwin gets another vote.
It's a good one there.
And it kind of was that moment where you felt like, or you hoped that the Astros were turning the corner. Carlos Correa and Jed Lowry getting votes. Could use a big swing right about now. Pomeranz has given up 5 home runs. It's not a big figure in 66+ innings. But a line drive right at the first baseman Davis, and a 1-2-3 8th inning. Can't hit it better. All about location.
Wednesday presented by Nolan Ryan Beef in the next Dollar Dog Buffet is August 19th when the Astros take on the Rays. For more information, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Hey, we were getting some good tweets on our Whataburger Whata play. Here's one of them. Jacob liked to be. So the Gattastella was awesome to watch as I was studying for an exam in a quiet area of the library. I bet he wasn't very quiet watching that. Hey, and they tweeted at the musician Alan Ashby.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I did not.
We got to work on that Twitter handle for our viewers.
Yeah. Yeah, I need your help. Very legit. Way to go. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Josh Reddick, Danny Valencia, and Stephen Vogt against Tony Sipp, who had a 1-2-3 7th. Two and one the count. 6 hits for Houston, 5 for the A's. A's with a 2-run double in the first inning. The Astros a solo home run in the 4th inning. That came from Preston Tucker. And that's been the scoring. Hit high in the air. And deep to right center field. Rasmus back at the wall, as is Gomez, who makes the fine catch and then hitting into the wall. And a little energy from Gomez.
Ball had a little more carry than I thought. No, Josh Reddick hit it well, but it looked like he just skied it.
That's what I thought. Does Carlos Gomez make routine plays?
No.
That'll do it for Tony Sipp. As the right-hand hitting Danny Valencia comes to the plate. A's still on top. We'll be right back. Baseball club, and you build it, they will come. Blummer.
I guess so. Got some spare time to have some nice old school unis going. This is like vintage 1886 right there. Of course, New Balance had a contract going back then. It was not Shoeless Joe Jackson.
I thought Nike came on the scene first, but memory always fades after 100 and some odd years.
Well, don't you got to go all out? Wear an old school pair of nails. You can't go out there in your New Balance.
See the proper lady there? That's good stuff. Pitch is hit hard to right field. Rasmus moving toward the line makes the catch. Second out of the inning as Danny Valencia flies out. These guys look legit. Look at the ladies.
Those are handmade sunglasses too. See them up here. That's a nice bib. That's a good bib on that uniform. You can go out and have some crawfish afterwards and some ribs.
Did they microwave in those days?
That's Biggio's bat right there.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a pre-Ty Cobb autograph. Spread your hands back. Fly ball to left. Marwin's out there and makes the play. A 1-2-3 8th inning as Chad Qualls comes in and gets a couple of quick outs. We go to the 9th, down a run. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. Golden Gate Bridge. Did you take your little jaunt yesterday under the bridge?
Yeah, they took us right under the bridge. Almost headed out into the Pacific, but luckily they turned around. It was gorgeous. I only had to wear one jacket.
Cold out there, huh?
Yeah, it was a little breezy.
Drew Pomeranz stays on now as Luis Valbuena starts the inning. 7-8-9 for Houston. And again, got to get some base runners if you're going to get back to the top of the order. So it is Jed Lowry coming on as a pinch hitter now for Valbuena as we start this ninth inning. Valbuena had a nice day, had walked and doubled. But now it's up to Jed Lowry to get something started. And the curveball for the strike. The Astros in their pen have Pat Neshek and Luke Gregerson getting loose. One for the tie, one for the lead. Curveball after curveball. It's 2-1 on Lowry. Lowry hitting .286. 4 home runs, all coming early in the season. And it felt like he was around for a good long while early on, but it was just 18 games played.
He was doing damage in those 18 games too.
And a 3-2 count. And a walk right here would not harm a thing.
Nice start to this inning, getting some base runners. I would imagine this is Drew Pomeranz's last hitter with big Chris Carter on deck, right-handed hitter. Castro, the only lefty left on the bench.
That pop fly on the right side finds the seats. Edward Mujica, right-hander, loosening in the pen for the A's, and he's ready to go. And there's your leadoff walk. So Lowry aboard. And it brings up Chris Carter. Brings out the skipper, Bob Melvin. So the A's are going to go to their bullpen. And the Astros now will have a pinch runner. Jake Marisnick will try to utilize that speed. He's taking over for Lowry as Mujica comes on for the Oakland A's. Nobody out here in the ninth inning. And the Astros trying to make some noise. Nobody out. Jake Marisnick, the pinch runner now for Jed Lowry, who drew the leadoff walk. And Chris Carter at the plate as Edward Mujica comes on, right-hander for the Oakland A's.
Coming in late in these ball games for the Oakland A's recently. Sean Doolittle out, making a couple of rehab stint appearances, trying to make his way back. Mujica, fastball at 90. Out pitches that split-fingered fastball.
Jake Marisnick has 14 stolen bases. Been caught 5 times. Mujica immediately throws over. Mujica, 31 years of age, from Venezuela. And he falls behind. Chris Carter has swung the bat well today. That was fairly close down at first base. Carter 1 for 3, has hit a couple of line drives. Ball's hit deep to left field. Fold is back in front of the wall, makes the play. So the 3rd time today that Carter hits it well, but he's 1 for 4. And that's the first out of the 9th inning.
Stay tuned after the game as Bart Ennis and Mike Stanton break down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show presented by Houston Methodist.
The Astros have 29 come from behind wins. They would love to add 1 to that. It's now Hank Conger, who's 0 for 3.
He's got a game-winning home run under his belt this year.
That came back early on in Arlington against the Rangers. That was the game that saw George Springer make the great catch up and over the wall. Recent grand slam for Hank.
There's a lot of Astro fans out there that would like to add D to that question we asked them earlier about what their favorite moment was.
Yeah.
Make today one.
Maybe that moment when they really got it turned around on the road. (2-0) the count on Hank. There goes Marisnick. And
I think that was a balk on Mujica. He didn't stop for anything right there.
I think that's what they've ruled it.
Man.
So if that's the case, it will not be a stolen base. It'll be, I believe you're right, a balk.
Watch Mujica not even stop. He's just bounced right there, and you can't do that as a pitcher. It's got to be a discernible stop.
Question I always have is the beginning of that was kind of a stop and then a move to the below the belt. It's tough to tell. So a base hit can tie this game.
Runners in scoring position numbers are not good. 2 for 16 in this series for the Houston Astros.
It's kind of a shame that the balk was called because I think Jake Marisnick had the bag stolen.
He did. It would have been ball 3 to Hank Conger, but you see that right there? Last time we saw somebody try and pick off a runner at second base, next pitch was a bomb. Oh.
This time it was a big swing, but a foul ball off the bat of Hank Conger.
You hate to see pitchers lose focus of the hitter.
I wouldn't be opposed right about now.
Wouldn't that be great? Some kind of super.
Another good swing.
Insane. Another good pitch to hit. I wouldn't be upset either if Hank Conger just got on top of one of those high fastballs, launched it into that left center field gap, and traded spots with Jake Marisnick. Turned this lineup over.
Hank has 8 home runs in 124 at bats. Hits it in the air, but not deep enough to center field. Burns is back to make the catch, tagging and coming to third, Marisnick. So he's 90 feet away, but it's 2 outs here in the 9th inning. And back to the top with Jose Altuve. And Jose has a pair of hits on the day.
Number 27, Jose Altuve.
Bullpen quiet for the A's. 2 righties up for the Astros. And it's in the hands of Jose Altuve.
He's sitting on 9 home runs. Nice. Get into double digits right here, kid.
There you go. He's also sitting on 299, the batting average.
Oh, so double bonus.
Hits it on the ground. Laurie's there. And there's the ball game. So Altuve swinging on the first pitch, grounds out to third, and the Astros strand Marisnick at third base, representing the tying run. The Oakland A's have won 2 straight and 2 of 3 here in the series. So the Astros can only look to tomorrow to try to even the series at 2 games apiece. It takes 2 hours and 51 minutes here this afternoon as that final is 2-1. A's win over the Astros.